What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Manny here, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing fine. I just wanted to share a quick little lawn session that I had recently. It was an amazing session, man. So cool, so refreshing. It was more of an agility focused style session, I must say. If you've been following the channel recently, then you know that I've been taking a longer break from climbing and also obviously the training from climbing, because I don't feel that it's very smart to, not climb at all and then train for climbing, because you can't really apply the newly gained gains, so to say, on the rock, on the wall. And this is what it's all about, right? We want to learn how to apply the gains on the rock so that we can get eventually a higher grade. So if you can't do that for whatever reason, then in my opinion, it also doesn't really make a lot of sense to train a lot for climbing. Rather than it makes a lot more sense to rest completely in terms of climbing and wait, recharge the battery for when the time has come to start to get back into it. So what I've been doing despite that is these lawn sessions. I've experimented a lot with the lawn. I did a couple of upper body flexibility things, as you have seen in my last post. I also always do my core trias, my calisthenics trias, which is the the planche, the front lever, and the handstand push-ups. Talking about handstands here, during this warm-up I did one handstand to get back into the triceps, to activate the triceps and shoulders. Before that I did my usual mobilizing routine, pretty standard stuff, as you know it already if you have been watching my videos for some time. But anyway, so agility focused style session, this is something that I haven't really done for a long time, but it was so refreshing because it was kind of reminiscent of the time when I was getting more into this Shaolin Kung Fu style type of thing, the Taekwondo, kickboxing style type of thing, okay? So what we have here as the first exercise that I always like to do when it comes to this stuff, this is this kind of overhead flip thing. As you can see, simple stuff, very simply put your hands on the ground, add your head to it, and then overflip with your legs. Here a couple of wheels, which is something that I really like doing as well during these agility sessions. And something that I want to point out here, as I'm starting to jog, I basically try to just simply not stop, okay? So here I'm stopping again because I want to gain some concentration for the overhead flips again, but during the whole session I did my best to just simply not stop. Just always keep jogging, always do some moves, always keep jumping around. And this way you keep the heart rate up and you really get the oxygen into the system. And this is something I have the feeling that climbing kind of lacks more than we think maybe. I mean, maybe it's not the case with the modern indoor bouldering thing where you jump around a lot as well and you have a lot of agility and coordination moves as well. But in terms of outdoor climbing, I feel that outdoor climbing is still a relatively static sport, especially when it comes to sport climbing, right? We have hard lock-offs, we have static moves, and these kind of jumping power, agility, explosiveness stuff, it comes kind of short in this sport, I have the feeling. But it's something that I really liked doing, actually. And I've gotten kind of slow, I gotta be honest with you here. I've gotten kind of slow, so I thought, why not just get back to it and do some agility on the lawn here, because I have the space, I have the time now. Let's try it out. So what you can see here is I've changed my my footwear, so to say, from barefoot to these Feiyu shoes, or I don't know how they're called. This is the general footwear that you have if you do Shaolin Kung Fu stuff. And it gives you a little bit more control here if in connection with the ground, because the grass is a little bit moist, is a little bit slippery, and if you're on there barefoot, for stuff like this, which you've just seen, this rondat here, which is basically a wheel overhead jump, which is something that you can actually use to get closer to the backflip, which is the next level of this exercise, so to say. For something like this, the shoes are really useful because they give you a lot of grip on the lawn, on the grass, and you don't, you're not so endangered in slipping around, if you know what I mean. So this is what I'm doing, jogging in the rounds, always doing my exercise and then keeping jogging, jogging. And As you can see, in terms of daytime, I chose the sunset here. This is not, a coincidence. During the day here, it can get quite hot, about 30 degrees or something. And doing a session like this in this type of temperature is really, really exhausting, and you're gonna sweat like a pig instantly and very quickly. So this is why I picked the sunset for this session, and the conditions there were already a lot better, a lot cooler. The cool thing about all these exercises, about almost all of them, the overhead flip and the wheels, is that you can do more of them back to back, in terms of a series. And then it becomes really, really, hard and exhausting actually, because you have to take care of your breathing as well. You can't hold your breath forever. And then it becomes really like sprinting. So it's kind of, you jog a little bit and then comes a little sprint in form of some of these exercises. As you can see, some wheels here back to back. Another cool thing about all of these exercises is, as I've said before, you can make them harder. So this is basically the very basic forms of these exercises, I would say. With the overhead flips, for example, you could do overhead flips without touching the ground with your head actually, only going with your hands. The other thing is that you could do the wheels without actually touching the ground altogether with your hands. If you get kind of fast with the wheels, and I'm not so bad here already, I got some speed already, nowhere near as close as fast how I was back then when I did the Shaolin Kung Fu stuff. There I could actually get to a wheel without hands at some point, but this is something that I want to work towards again now in these recent times here. Here comes Mona into the frame for a nice little headstand there on the lawn. As you can see, it's also very nice here in terms of lighting and everything. The temperatures are amazing. Got a slight little breeze coming through here so that it's not too hot. Just amazing training conditions. So as I've said, you can make all these exercises harder pretty quickly and pretty easily. With the overhead flips, you skip the head. With the wheel, you skip the hands. You just simply fly through the air, wheel without hand style. And with this thing here, with the rondat, with the wheel jump, or I don't know what it's called in English, you can actually add a backflip, after that. But I have the feeling that I'm still not quite fast enough. I'm still not quite there yet in terms of jumping power and everything again, so that I can actually add the backflip here on the lawn. I tried this stuff out in modern bouldering gyms where you have these kind of very nice cushioned mattresses on the ground, and there I was actually able to already do it again. But yeah, on the ground, on the lawn, on a it's not springy, so to say. There it's of course a different story. Here, to finish the session off, a couple of kicks. It's just so much fun, just a little bit of fooling around, and the whole session maybe took 1 hour or something. 1 hour of jogging around and sprinting around in the form of these exercises, and that was just an amazing workout, I must say. Getting back into sweating again, So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little session. Hope I could drop some training motivation onto you guys, just to show a little bit what I've been working on recently, and hopefully I can come up with another one with some harder stuff already. So yeah, see you then. Bye.